welcome to day 2. If you did not get a chance to watch yesterday's video on choosing a morning beverage, that is completely okay. You can save these emails, you can come back to them later. I don't want you to feel like you have to be stressed and have to keep up. That's definitely not the purpose of this. This is just for you to have a repertoire of tips and strategies to address your most frustrating symptoms. So today I want to talk about the adrenal thyroid connection and share a few simple strategies for taking care of your adrenals and in turn taking care of your thyroid. So if you deal with symptoms like anxiety, depression, other types of mood imbalances, sleep issues, whether that's insomnia or just sleeping all the time and not feeling rested, and also if you deal with any sort of digestion issues like sluggish digestion or other types of irritants that you're just suffering with, then the adrenals are going to help that. This is a big part of those symptoms. So if those are some of the ones that you're wanting to target, some of the symptoms that you're wanting to get rid of, then this is definitely something that you want to tune into. So your adrenal glands are on your endocrine system just like your thyroid. So there is this type of feedback loop that's happening with your thyroid and your adrenal glands, which are right above your kidneys. And if your adrenals are weak, then your thyroid suffers and vice versa. So it's so crucial to support your adrenal glands. And one of the main things that your adrenals do is they pump out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And that's good if it's in a small amount. So we want it to pump out stress hormones if we need to get out of danger, or sometimes if we're working on something we need to be in kind of that hyper alert state. But what's happening in our stressful lives is we're chronically living in that hyper alert state. So there's the sympathetic nervous system, which is that kind of fight or flight where you're pumping out a ton of stress hormones, and basically the rest of your body is shutting down. For instance, your digestive system. If you're stressed, your digestive system shuts down because your body is like, well, I need this energy to go to dealing with the stressor, so I can't focus on digestive function right now. So that is why it can be linked to digestive issues. The parasympathetic nervous system is also known as the rest and digest state. And that's when your body's at rest, you're calm, you're not pumping out cortisol and adrenaline, and your body's able to repair itself and digest your food and use the nutrients. So if you are someone, I always say, I've had a lot of women come to me with either constipation issues or just other discomforts, digestion-wise, and I always ask about their stress levels, because you can take, probiotics, you can eat more fiber, you can exercise, drink water, all those things that are great for digestive health, but sometimes the root cause really is just your stress response and your adrenals and all of that. So I hope that kind of helps you understand the significance of the adrenals with your thyroid symptoms, because it is so crucial. So obviously, the most ideal way to deal with this would be to get rid of all the stressors in your life, but I know that's not possible in my life, and I don't expect that to be possible in anybody's life. But I will say, before I share the techniques, I'll say if you can eliminate some stressors, because sometimes there are things that we think we just have to live with that we actually don't. Maybe we can restructure our time to make an event not so stressful. I don't know. I've been using the example lately is it seems like I get to the end of the week and I totally forget that I have to make personal calls, or even like paying my health insurance bill, or things like that I have to do, and it stresses me out every time because I haven't made time for it. But lately I've been setting a specific time of the week when I take care of all my personal calls and things like that. And that stress has completely gone away, because I know that at Friday at 10 a.m. I sit down and I do that, and I don't have to worry about it the rest of the week. So just a little tip there is think of something that you can restructure in your life that can totally get rid of a stressor. Obviously, there are things that we cannot get rid of. So instead of getting rid of something, we have to find a way to cope with that. We have to find a way to control our body's response to that. And one main one major, easy, free, completely free way to do this is deep breathing. And I will be the first to say that I have been very skeptical of deep breathing and breathing techniques for a long time now, just because I didn't really understand what it was. And now that I've researched a lot about the nervous system and breathing, there is a true physical response that happens when you're breathing deeply. Getting oxygen to your cells is so important for so many bodily functions that if you're taking shallow breaths and you're not consciously making an effort to relax your body in that way, then you're missing out on a really just totally free, not time-consuming, non-time consuming thing that you can do that can really help. So it's almost like when you're breathing deeply, you're tricking your body into feeling relaxed, and you kind of end up being relaxed because of that. So I'm going to share 2 techniques for this, just a couple easy ones that you can do. You can Google deep breathing techniques. There's tons out there, but here are just a few that you can try. And one is called the 4-7-8 technique, and this is kind of a common one out there. So basically you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold it for 7, and then you breathe out for 8. So more of a slow pattern, and you can repeat that as many times as you want. I would say start with at least 3 rounds of that. And then you can increase. The more the better, but don't make it where you're stressing yourself out, because that's obviously defeating the purpose. So that's one technique. Another technique is called the pursed lip technique, and that's simply you're breathing in for 2 and you're blowing it out quickly. So that's more of a quick, and sometimes I find that relaxes me faster than the slower because I have a hard time slowing down. I think that's kind of a problem of mine, but I prefer that one, but I'm trying to incorporate both the quicker and then the slower as well. So this will be on your resource guide in your email as well that you can reference. So you could start, sometimes I like doing this in the morning because it sets my body up to just be calm, right? First thing in the morning. And so rather than starting in a stressed and hurried place in the morning, maybe before you get out of bed, you could do this, or while you're making your morning beverage in the morning, you can do this. It doesn't have to be something that takes a ton of time. You can do it on your way to work. You can do it in the shower. You can do it any time that, you can breathe anywhere. So you don't have to set aside time for it. And the evening is also a great time because it helps calm your body and set you up for really deep restorative sleep. And then sometimes I find in the mid-afternoon, it's a really good time to do it too, because that's when life seems the most stressful for me. And that helps control my body's response to that. So I hope that you will try this. It's something that I've been working on for a long time and honestly have not been very consistent at, but lately I have, and it is making a big difference. So pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to how deeply you're breathing and how slowly you're breathing and how that affects and kind of calms your mind and calms that adrenal response to pumping out that cortisol and adrenaline. And in turn, your digestion should improve, your energy should improve, your sleep, and your anxiety, all of those things that are common thyroid-related symptoms. So give that a shot. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you have questions about that. And tomorrow we are going to talk about thyroid nutrition just a little bit. And I promise we're not going to talk at all this week about things to get rid of, because I want us to focus on delicious foods to include and that can support our thyroids without being restrictive at all. That can actually just be really delicious and fun to try. So tomorrow we're going to talk about that, and I'll be excited to share some food ideas that you can do to start supporting your thyroid and the symptoms that you're dealing with. So let me know how it goes, and I will see you tomorrow.